It was full. Well, I bought a van. I guess this makes me a van guy now. My aunt bought it new in 1985, and I've got some pictures of how it looked then. Since my aunt sold it in the 90s, it's undergone some restoration efforts. We'll do a walk around, check it out. But the idea is that once she sees it, we're going to start making it look a lot better. It's still mechanically sound. It's very solid, has practically zero rust. It runs good, shifts good, all that stuff. It's mostly all here. Still has the original wheels with it, the original 318. But cosmetically, I think it could use some help. I'm getting rid of this reef.
What can you tell us about the van?
Well, here she is. The only thing I've added, this is exactly as I bought it. The only thing I added was I got her license plate back. Of course, Virginia had 6 character tags then. Now they have 7. So where it was Nan's VN originally, it's now Nan's van. But this was a higher end. It had the upgraded grille and different bumpers. You see it had the stripes on the side. And the conversion van company, I guess, did all the gold striping on it. But this was done by a previous owner. Now this is something I couldn't quite figure out because I had seen pictures at distance. And I thought, what was this? Is this flames? Is it two-tone? No, this is actually bare metal. That is all surface rust. So, and it looks like it was planned that way. You see how it connects to the stripes. So, yeah, and the top is painted with Flex Seal. It does not leak. And the mirrors, these mirrors were not part of the plan, nor the blue wiper arms or graphics. I don't know if the antenna did that originally. But the good news is, still has the original wheels. These are the wheels that came on it. And of course, before we drive this thing 400 miles tomorrow, I'm gonna do some little things like, you know, replace the missing lug nut. Needs a thermostat, could really use a tune-up. But for the most part, it's all still here. It's really solid. It's 318, 999 automatic, 8 1/4 rear, 294 gears. This helped in identifying the van as being the one she bought. This is a little test piece that was, you know, my aunt's husband had sanded down and wanted to see if he could paint and primed it, and that helped identify it. It does look considerably different. I don't know if this spare came on it. That looks like a Ford wheel. There's no rust to speak of. Looks really good all the way to the quarters. Rides really good. This blue, I was concerned that we had some collision damage, but no, actually it was just masked off very carefully and repainted. It's the original fenders. And we'll figure out what's going on here. When I originally looked at the engine on this, the emblem was sitting up like that, and I go to shut the hood, it crooks over. Inside, I've done nothing to it except, of course, those cups where we had lunch. Came with a pack of cigarettes. I don't know how many's in that. Came with another pack of cigarettes. Dream catcher, some light bulbs. Which means I probably got one that's blowing out. And I don't know what this button is. Hey Brian, you want to push this button?
It's the ejecto seat.
I've got this button I'm afraid to push, so I'm gonna get the stunt man to push it. And we don't know what it is. Yeah, let's see what it is.
It's a horn. That doesn't work.
Okay, let's turn the key on and see if it's a horn. Oh, denied.
That is just anticlimactic.
I know it. I was hoping it would at least be like, you know, nitrous or ejector seat or something. Anyway, came with some safety glasses. I don't know how much is there. I don't know if that's original carpet there or not. Needs window knobs and a few things. The previous owner put some carpet in it, and he liked to lay back when he drove, apparently. But the inside doesn't look bad. Needs some cleaning, but not bad. Needs a door hinge on this side, but it still shuts okay. You guys are going to get to see it get a lot better on my channel. What do you think? Less sketchy than what you drove from Texas?
Well, I mean, that is kind of cobbled together.
All right. Well, what looked like Cousin Eddie's van on Thursday, actually in 1985, my Aunt Nancy here bought it new. And you may have seen her in the comments of some of my videos as Nancy Cook on the live streams and in the comments. And we might not put it back to looking exactly like it was, but we're certainly going to make it look a lot better. But I wanted you guys to get to meet her. So this was her pride and joy.
Took a lot of family trips in it with my sisters, my mother. We went to the beach. We went to DC to visit an aunt. We had a lot of fun in this van. I drove it to Texarkana, Texas on 2 different trips and just enjoyed this van. Drove it to work every day, and it's been a lot of good memories, and I'm so excited that it's now back in the family.
She didn't know there have been sightings of it near where she used to live in the Roanoke, Virginia area. And I got a hold of a cousin and then the cousin's daughter. She said she knew where it was, but she didn't know that we had tracked it down or found it and bought it until yesterday.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. And the first thing she wanted to do was drive it. So we'll put some of that in here too. But if you're game, let's walk around a little bit and look at the van, and you can tell them a little bit about it.
And we need to note about the Nyson tag.
We'll do that. All right, starting at the front, this looks a little different than when you bought.
Quite different. The lights, the grill, the top, quite different.
So what do you think? Do you want to keep the Eagles?
No, we don't keep the Eagles. We take them off.
You sure you don't want to keep the Eagles?
No keeping the Eagles.
I know this. These mirrors vibrate going down the highway, and I mean it just looks like an earthquake in the mirrors the whole time you're going down the road.
Drove it many years and many miles without those mirrors.
Right.
Never had an accident.
The van has, I can't tell how many miles. It looked like the speedometer cable broke on it about 195. So there's no telling how many miles are on it. But I can tell you this, it has the original drivetrain and still runs great.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And she was whipping around here in the neighborhood and out here on the road. And we were running around with it a couple days ago.
Yep.
Drives it like she never got out of it.
Love it.
I think that you can tell them really well. Like, come on over here. So there's a story. The spare tire cover is gone. Okay.
Yes.
Tell us what happened with the spare tire cover.
Well, the tire had a metal rim over it, and it had a leather covering that went over it. And the conversion company's name was Wildcat. And so didn't bother me. I was fine with it and drove it to church. And after driving it to church several times, the choir director at that time told me that I was sending out bad images and bad thoughts by having Wildcat on the back of my van, and told me that I needed to cover that up.
What do you guys think? Should we put Wildcat back on it out of principle? Let us know in the comments. Moving around here about the inside, I did a walk around on the outside. We didn't do much on the inside on Thursday because we haven't done anything in here but vacuum it a little bit. So take a look inside and tell us what you see now versus what it looked like as you remember it.
Well, I kept it spotlessly clean. I kept the oil faithfully changed. I even changed the spark plugs myself. And I had everything nice and neat. Of course, the other captain's chair is missing from right here, which John has, and we'll put it back in. It had a table that there's a metal hole here between these seats and between these seats that had a 4-cup holder and a table on it that you could set your drinks in, or if you had kids, then they could play games, etc. In the very back, it had a table, a big place to put a cooler that actually sat down in, and it also had a TV that sat on that table that goes behind that chair.
And she tells me that she had that TV until about 6 months ago.
I did, and had no idea the van would be back in the family, or I could have kept that TV.
Not that there's any market for a 12-inch black and white TV, CRT TV, but
sentimental.
This is the way it goes. But the main thing is that we've got the van back, and that she is here to enjoy it and drive it around, and that
Yes.
makes me really happy.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing a lot of restoration effort on this. The what's left of the paint has got to go, so we're going to put it back its original dark blue, and I'll probably keep a little bit of the striping just because it's part of the story. But you know, in time, we don't know. This may become a good tow rig for us, definitely a good travel rig. And I gave her a key to it. She can drive it anytime she wants without any of the hassles that come with having to own and maintain and store and repair and all that stuff. So for her, she can just come visit and borrow and drive it whenever she wants. Yeah.
Gone. Good. Well, I've said that was the town van. Everybody saw it all over Buckeye County all the time. That's gone. So I can't tell how fast I'm going, so I'll just go slow.
Lattice.
I was sitting in this one we were moving, and Kathy was over here sitting at a red light. I was the second vehicle back, and I saw this logging truck coming down a straight shot down. And I said, "Oh, don't go." And the woman in front went. The logging truck wouldn't stop. He was blowing his horn.